Buying a camper van can be very scary because it's a lot of money going into a project and you may not know everything that goes into the build, such as what is 400 watts of solar, what's a dry flush toilet, what type of wood is this? And in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about a van that's on roadroamer.co. I'm going to break it down as if you have no idea what anything is, you've never seen a van, and by the end of the video, you should be knowing who it's for, what this van is built for, and if anything I would change or possibly improve. So if you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Kyle. I am the owner of roadroamer.co. I've been building vans for the past 4 years. I know a thing or two about van builds and what goes into them, so that gives me a little bit of credit to talk about vans and break them down so that you don't have to and you feel comfortable buying a van from roadroamer.co. This is Roadroamer. This is the website that I've been building for the past year to help educate and inform people on how to buy and sell vehicles. But not only that, it is a place for community. We have a forum and you can also find professional builders, but that's a video for another day. So the camper van that we're going to be breaking down today is a 2025 Mercedes Sprinter 144-inch wheelbase, which means between each tire there, you're going to have 144 inches, and that's about a 12-foot interior space. In a 144, you have enough space to have a living quarters, but let's check out the interior really quick. So this is a shot from the outside of the van. You can see that they have a nice, beautiful blue interior matched with a beautiful wood grain. This has modern features, really nice lighting, some puck lighting up here, but you also see some LED in here, as well as some accent lights, which I'm all about indirect lighting and accent lights. I really like the vibe of this. And when you come into the van, you're going to see they have swivel seats right there, which is very important. Swivel seats allow you to open up the space a little bit more, making it less claustrophobic. And you can also have a good place to sit, such as like a dinette if you wanted to sit facing each other or just face the inside of the van. Now this shot is from the swivel seat. I'm going to assume that this is a table on a legume mount. This is just my first time looking at it, so I'm right there with you. Large overhead cabinets and tongue and groove ceilings and walls. I really like this little flip up here. It allows the cabinet counter space to extend probably about another 16 inches, which on this one, you would notice they only have this space for cooking and the sink, so you would definitely need that for space to cook. There's also a little seating area right here with storage underneath, which perfect. You need that, lots of storage, and then a full closet up here, which I'm not sure what's in there. It could be a closet, it could be something else. Nice little storage area under here. Very nice cutouts that you can store. Looks like cups, mugs, all sorts of stuff. And the interior here also has a bunch of storage, which is perfect. You've got an induction cooktop here, which means it's ran off of the electrical system, and they need a good electrical system for that one. And this shot is what really sells it for me. It's beautiful accent lighting. So you can see the electrical system is on this side. Plumbing's essentially over here. And more lighting, but this light right here just adds a little bit of pop, and I think this is really their moneymaker picture, which that should be the very first one that they have on the site, and I really like that. So we're going to go over the specs and everything about it. 2025 Mercedes 144 Sprinter, $135,000. Is it worth it? We'll find out. It is brand new. 68 miles. So no one owns this van. This was built actually from YOLO camper vans in California, and it is their essentially spec model. They're building it out to show you what they can do, and they are great builders. I've seen a lot of work from them. This is a layout that they're actually going to be providing for people. That's why they built this, is to show you exactly this is what we offer. They're probably going to have a couple other layouts so you can choose from as well as custom layouts if you wanted. So it's called the Coastal Cruiser, which is a cool name for it. 0 owners, financing available. So if you're looking to finance a camper van, this is super important. You're going to have, just like a house, have a larger down payment, and then you'll pay probably $800 to $1,500 a month for a camper, depending on the price of the camper. So this says, meet our newest camper van build, designed for off-grid comfort, smart storage, and clean modern style. The Coastal Cruiser is packed with premium components and thoughtful designs that make full-time or weekend van life effortless. We'll see about that. So electrical system. This is probably the place where everyone gets tripped up. It is the most complicated, even for a beginner van builder. They don't necessarily know everything about electrical, and it is the most dangerous if done wrong. So let's talk about it. 400 watts of rich solar panels. This is important if you're going to be doing an off-grid system. So you want to be able to have charging access from the sun. If it's a cloudy day and you're not getting any sun, you'll still get a little bit, but you're not going to be getting a bunch. So you're going to need another way to charge it as well. So not only having solar panels is the most important. So to accompany the solar panels, you're going to need a larger battery bank here. So 620 amp hours of SOK lithium battery. Lithium battery is the standard. You're going to want that for the most part in all camper vans right now. They are the safest, they are the nicest, they are a little bit more expensive, but they will last a lot longer. And 628 amp hours is actually, I would say, a medium to medium high level of amp hours. So this is going to be really good for you to go off grid for a while, and you really wouldn't have to worry about charging too much. The Victron system, you can see Victron. That's a great system. Victron is, I would say, one of the highest standards in van life right now and camper builds. So 2000 watt inverter, I would have liked to seen that go up to a 3000 watt inverter, just because if you're using a lot of components such as a hair dryer, the stove, or anything that requires a high amount of electricity, the 2000 watt could trip up a little bit. But on the other hand, 2000 watts is still really good. You just don't want to risk it. So a 3000 watt is what I would have done. 50 amp, 100 MPPT solar charge controller. That's standard. That's good. That means what is coming from the solar is coming into that MPPT and going over to your actual battery bank. So the Victron charging source here is DC to DC, which means if you're driving and you're going a long distance, even if you're just going to the grocery store or whatever, the car is charging from the alternator while it's driving, and it's charging your house batteries in the back. This is where you're going to get the most charge instead of solar. So solar is kind of like a trickle, and your DC to DC charger is going to charge it the most. Next up is the Victron Links distributor. This is a very nice component to have, because if you just put everything onto one battery post, you're going to have an electrical fire and big issues most likely. So this allows you to distribute it across multiple posts and charge everything all at once. So solar can go to something else, DC can go to the other one, and then all of your other things just go to that, and then distributes all the way to where you need it to go or back into the battery bank. Very nice system to have. The Smart Shunt. I recommend this on everything. This allows you in an app to see everything on your phone, what your battery percentage is at, how many amps you're pulling, how many watts of solar you're getting. It's a beautiful thing right there to have. So ranking the electrical system, the solar system is a good system. I would give it an A because it's able to power a lot of things here all at once, but it could be a little bit better by improving to a 3000 or more watt inverter. This could allow you to have many more things plugged into it without concern of possible fire or overheating systems. The next thing that we're going to be talking about is the climate control, which is super important because if you're in a van and you're living in it full time, you don't want to be too hot, you don't want to be too cold, you want to be just right, just like you were if you were in a house. So we're starting off with how you heat the van. This is an S-Bar diesel air heater. So this one is actually connected into your van's diesel tank, allowing you to pull the diesel, heat the van, and it's only ran on 12 volts, so there's very minimal electrical draw, but you're going to also have very minimal diesel draw on this. You can run this very efficiently, very nice. I like it a lot. So the next thing on this is important. This is a staple in every single camper van build or any camper at all. You need an air fan for ventilation. The Max Air Fan Deluxe, perfect. Everyone uses them. It's a standard. It doesn't have to be the deluxe version. My personal van did not have the deluxe because I didn't need the remote control. I could stand up and push a button. But this is super important. So you can pull in air or you can push air out. It's amazing because if you have windows cracked in the back, you can actually do a pull air out, and it feels like an air conditioning because it's pulling fresh air in through the windows and up and out the ventilation system. Feels amazing, super nice. This one actually has an air conditioning system, which you definitely need a big battery bank if you're going to be using an air conditioning. So 628 amp hours of battery is good to use this if you're just going to be on and off with the air conditioning. I'm not sure how long exactly the 623 or 28 amp hours would last. Maybe a few hours of nonstop constant airflow, But a Zero Breeze is a decent system. It's a good quality one. It is not the standard that you would usually see, but Zero Breeze has definitely done some good work. So on climate control, I would give this a B, B plus, because it is 3 seasons. You can have it when it's cold outside, when it's hot outside, when it's nice outside, but there could be a little bit more of an improvement. You could have a much larger heating system in there if you were going to go to, let's say, a very wintry place with lots of snow in the air conditioning system. You might want to plug into a shore power unit if they have shore power, because it will take a lot of your batteries, and you don't want to be out of batteries in the middle of summer when your fan can't even work, nothing works. You would just be hot and miserable. So possibly a little bit upgraded on the battery system if you had an air conditioning system. And the next thing we're talking about is water systems. Super important. You need fresh water. How much do you have? How long will it last? Is there a shower? We're going to figure that out right now. So the water system has 22 gallons of fresh water. That is a good amount if you don't have a shower. If you do have a shower, you would definitely want a recirculated one with that one. And 16-gallon undermount gray water tank. So the undermount gray water tank is underneath the vehicle. Perfect. It doesn't take up any space on the interior. And 16 gallons is perfectly fine as long as you can drain it before you run out of your own water, because then it will overflow your van and make it stink. US Steel electric drain valve. Okay, cool. And a C-Flow water pump and accumulator. So this super important part right here. The C-Flow water pump is the standard. Pretty much everyone is using them. They are noisy, but something that helps you out with the noise is the accumulator tank. This comes in and it kind of mutes it. Doesn't do anything. It's just going to be like super loud, which if that happens in the middle of the night, it's going to wake you up and scare you, which you do not want that to happen. The ISO-Temp 4.2 gallon slim radiant hot water heater. This is important. If you have a shower, you need hot water. This one could be really good. Obviously, you only have 4.2 gallons of hot water, which if you think about it, you turn the water partially to hot, so you'll be able to make it last a little bit longer, but still with only 22 gallons of fresh water, it's going to be hard to take a full shower. Like I said, we don't know if this one has a shower yet, but it will give you plenty of hot water if you wanted to just do the dishes, and it's on demand pretty much. You flip a switch and it comes on for you. So this water system is very practical. You're not going to be rationing water unless you're taking long showers if they have a shower, but you can wash dishes. You can do whatever you want with it very practically for about a week or two. So it is a good system. I give it a B+. The next thing we're talking about is the kitchen and its functionality, which is very fun to do as a builder, building a small space and making it feel big. So let's check out and see what they've got. So right from the start, 12-volt refrigerator. It's very necessary that you have a 12-volt refrigerator, because with the power system, you can run your fridge 24/7, no problem. It's going to be a great system here. The Indel B CR30, so good fridge. Induction cooktop. This is the one thing that does require a ton of electrical power. So if you don't have more than, let's say, 300 amp hours, 400 amp hours, you need more than that, because it's going to push it at full capacity if you cook anytime. So 20-30 minutes, you're going to drain your batteries a lot. So this has a 13 by 15 inch RV sink with foldable faucet, which is a great thing for storage and space savings. So you notice they didn't have a bunch of space countertop wise, so that sink actually folds down with a place over the top so you can use it as a countertop. That's a very good thing in a small space to have. It's very modern, very clean, and very functional. Now the FizzLife water filter and dedicated tap. Super important to have a water filtration system in your van if you're going to be drinking the water, because most of the time when you're filling up your tank, it's coming from the city, unknown sources. As long as it's potable, it's good, but you still want it to be filtered. So this is great. Dedicated tap means there's a second tap that's just for your drinking water. I love that. A Lagoon swivel table is perfect because it can move around and work with your space. If you have seating over here, you can pull the table to you or move it over to your swivel seats and actually eat dinner, do work. Perfect thing, functional. I love it for a kitchen. Multiple flip up, pull out work for surfaces. That's exactly what I was talking about, that flip out on the outside of the cabinet. Perfect, great. Designated trash can drawer, which I actually like that. It's just hard to do that with a small space because your trash cans end up being small. You have to take your trash out all the time. It's not very fun, but it is functional to hide and actually get rid of the trash can smell. Just pass it into the cabinet. Overall, I would say the kitchen is actually very small but highly functional. I give it an A plus because they did so much with so little. Considering they didn't put any countertop space on the driver's side, they put it all on the passenger side and did a lot with it. So this is a very good use of space for a kitchen, and I think they have the battery bank to actually use it and make it work. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the sleeping and full layout of the entire van. Something super important when building out a van or buying a van, you want to make sure that you can be as comfortable as possible in the sleeping position, because most vans are very narrow. If you're a taller person, they're not going to be fun sleeping east to west, but north to south, unless you add this right here. So this is the Camper Van HQ Sleeper Capsule. What the sleeper capsule does is it's this black thing right here on the side of the van. It actually allows the van to expand depending on what size they've got. It could be expanded up to like 10, 12 inches. That way you can sleep east to west comfortably and actually save a lot of space in your van by doing so. Your bed would be east to west instead of north to south from front to back, which is not what you want if you're a taller person. The slider bunk window, I really appreciate these because, like I said earlier, if you have a vent fan and it pulls the air and you have a window right over your head opened up in the middle of the night and it is just breezing over you like air conditioning, you don't really even need air conditioning sometimes because it works well enough. Blackout window curtains, super important. I highly recommend this. Every single van should have blackout window curtains. Every window should be covered. 1, for privacy, 2, for insulation, and 3, they're just very nice to have in all circumstances. And they have a multifunctional toilet space here. So it's actually underneath the sink. It pulls out on a drawer slide, and you can use it as a step, or you can use it as the toilet. So I'm not sure what type this one is. It kind of looks like a Trellino toilet, which is my favorite. And it works very well for multiple things. Like I said, you can use it to jump into bed, which the shorties definitely need that. Now, overall for the sleeping and layout, I would say this is for a solo full-time van lifer, possibly a couple that are going to be doing weekend trips or week trips. It is very nice and functional, but it might get a little crowded with 2 people full-time living in it, mainly because it's a 144 and there's not a whole lot of space, but it could definitely be good for a full-timer. So right now I'm going to mix a few things together. We're going to be talking about storage. We're going to talk about the quality of the features, some ventilation, windows, all of those things. We're going to put them all together and just kind of speed run these because they're important, but they're not what people really fancy to look at. So here we got windows, doors, and ventilation. They've got slider door window, cool with the screen slider so you can allow fresh air in. Living in a bubble slider bug net. Bug nets, super important, especially when you're in the middle of nowhere and you've got little flies, gnats coming around. You don't want that, but it also works for dust. So if you have them down, no dust is going to be getting in there. Window covers and seat organizer, perfect. The lighting, they have LED lighting strips, amazing, you need them. White and red dual color LED puck lights, cool dual color. Red light is really good for you to go to sleep with, and it's very functional for your eyes. Now here's the fun stuff. Storage and interior features, premium Phoenix cabinets. So what they're saying is the cabinets are actually made out of Phoenix laminated plywood. This is a very good, high quality laminated plywood. It actually has self-healing, where if you hold a lighter up to a scratch, it'll self-heal itself. And this is a very expensive type of lumber with laminate already on it. Cab upper storage shelf, we saw that it was very large. Flatline Co. side ladder, very cool. So we're going to talk about the exterior really quick with that side ladder. That's access to get up and pretty much clean your solar panels. They really don't have a bunch of stuff up there. They don't have a roof rack. They don't have boxes on the back for storage. They don't have a bike rack or anything like this. This is very minimal, and I would have actually increased the amount of external components. That would have made it a little bit more expensive, but the bump outs on the side and the ladder with the solar on top, great addition. Now let's talk about the value. This van comes with a lot of features in it, such as the big battery system that is a high-end Victron system. It has high-quality cabinets with the Phoenix laminated cabinetry, a bunch of fun features and layouts in here that would be perfect for anyone that's going to be a full-time resident or a couple possibly going on the road for a week or two at a time. It has no owners, which means you're going to be the first one jumping into it, living in it, traveling in it, which means no scratches, no mess. It's perfect for you to just jump in, get the keys, and go. So overall, I would say that this van offers a bunch of really cool features and it is a very good value. Now, if I were going to be building a van that was similar to this, there are a few things that I would like to see change in that. Number one being a bigger water system. You want more fresh water just for overall things, because that's one of the biggest hassles I found in van life was, where am I going to find water? If I run out, I'm kind of screwed and I need to get water very quickly. So a bigger water tank would be a very nice thing to have. The second thing I would like to see is exterior accessories, more of them. Boxes on the back for storage, a roof rack. It makes it look a lot better and also functions as a place for more storage on the roof or more solar panels. And a third thing, which we don't know if this van has, is possibly an outdoor shower or some sort of way to clean off your feet. If you come in from the beach, you've got sandy feet, you want to wash off. Outdoor showers are probably one of my favorite things about van life, is because you can go do whatever you want, get dirty, come back and just shower outside, and you pretty much don't have to go to bed dirty. So overall, I would recommend this van for someone who is a solo traveler that's going to go full-time at it in van life, or possibly a couple who is going to be traveling for a week or a 2-week period, or possibly someone who's a remote worker who wants to go out in the middle of nowhere and just have a nice space to work while they can camp or go out and hike. And someone I would not recommend this for is someone who cannot go into the minimalist lifestyle, because you're going to pack up way too much gear, and I think that this one may not have enough storage for you. But overall, it is a great van, perfect for almost everybody, and I think it's actually priced very, very good. All right, I hope you guys liked this vehicle breakdown. If you did, hit that like button, comment, and let me know your favorite feature of this van. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and go to roadroamer.co. That way you can see all of these vans that I'm going to be talking about. Also find builders that are actually accepting clients this year. They are waiting for you to build the camper of your dreams. So hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.